Humans have been changing the sound of the oceans since we first started exploring the seas, but our ocean presence has exploded over the last 5 decades.
The world that these long-lived creatures have experienced has changed on a geologic scale. We are seeing just a different planet. For humans, well, it's important for us to hear, but not nearly as important as it is for whales, dolphins, and many kinds of fish. They rely on being able to sense their environment acoustically. Whether it's finding their buddies, knowing where food is, knowing where the shoreline is. They certainly have eyes, and they use their eyes, but they're far more reliant on their hearing to live.
Some whales, they live to be 150 to 200 years old. When those whales were teenagers, the world was quiet. Okay, so if I disrupt your ability to hunt, or if I disrupt the ability of a female to make a choice between the best singers because she can only hear the ones that are closest to her, what's the impact of that?
Getting lost in the ocean must be terrifying to a young whale. Can't find its mother, can't find its family. A lost whale, in that sense, would be likely a dead whale.
The problem is, in the ocean, we are injecting enormous amounts of noise. So much so that we are basically acoustically bleaching the ocean. All the singing voices of the planet are lost in that cloud of noise.
Some of the sound may come from the engines that's transmitted through the hull, but the majority of it comes from what is happening right at the propeller.
It's called cavitation. That's when the bubbles created by the blades of the propeller collapse and burst underwater.
The noise environment in the ocean is doubling every 10 years.
I attended a shipping conference not long ago where the organizers started the conference by saying, if only we knew 50 years ago what we know today about sound in the ocean, we could design propellers that are not only much quieter, but are more efficient.
Designing a quieter ship will result in increased fuel efficiency, which is reduced cost to the owner. We're talking about ships that have fuel costs on a per vessel basis, tens of millions of dollars a year. So designing more efficient vessels just makes a whole lot of sense.
The typical mode that we all have is status quo. It's easier in some ways not to do anything than it is to do something. So we are at this tipping point. But it really comes down to, what do we value? We value a living ocean.